Hi guys, welcome back to Snakes and Adders Introducing series. I'm really excited because today we get to cover this fabulous species. This is called a rosy boa. This is genus Lichanura trivirgata. Absolutely stunning. I absolutely adore this group of snakes. They're easy to work with, they're laid back, they're manageable in size, they're hardy owing to where they originate from. When you say boa constrictor, people panic and they think, oh goodness me, an anaconda or a big red-tailed boa, and it's going to be far too excessive in size for me to be able to manage, and it's not suitable for me as a pet or for my son and my daughter. Well, that's where rosy boas buck the trend. Generally speaking, they're relatively slow moving, they're docile, they're laid back, and they just make absolutely wonderful pets. So there is, the Latin name is Lichanura trivirgata, although some scientists still put them in the genus Chirina with the rubber boa, but I've always known them as Lichanura, so that is what I will list them as. First described by Edward Drinker Cope in 1861, and then they went through subsequent taxonomic reforms. So Chirina trivirgata by Kluge in 93, Lichanura again by Liner in 94, Chirina again by McDiarmid, Campbell and Torre in 99, back to Lichanura by Crowther in 2000, and reconfirmed as Lichanura by Wallach in 2014. In the trade, usually there's 4 subspecies that you may be able to find and get hold of, although they're becoming harder to get, particularly at this size. There is the nominate form, the Mexican rosy boa, which is Lichanura trivirgata. You will find that in northwest Sonora, southern Baja California, Mexico, and southwest Arizona. Then there is also the desert rosy boa, which is a similar colour pattern to this, but more broken up and speckled and rough-edged lines, and that is Lichanura trivirgata gracia, and that is western Arizona, southeast California, and the Mojave Desert region. So they're a particularly extreme type. Then there is the largest of the rosy boas, the coastal rosies, which is Lichanura trivirgata rosea fusca. You'll find that in San Diego, LA Bay, San Gabriel and San Bernardino counties and mountains. They are probably approaching 1 metre in length and certainly the thickest set, and overall these tend to be an orange and grey rather than a red and grey, much more sort of tangerine coloured. Overall adult size is variable. There's quite a lot of sexual dimorphism between boys and girls. This is a quite large male. A female would be at least half as wide again and another 15-20 centimetres long. Average adult size ranges for between 75 and 115 centimetres for coastals, but for the other 3 usually about 85-90 centimetres finished. A full grown rosy boa female will be around the diameter of a golf ball when full grown. As with all boa constrictors, these are live bearers, so they will gestate the young themselves, and they'll have between 4 and 8 babies. They tend to be reasonably well built babies considering the size of the mother, and they'll start relatively easily, but they're born with a large amount of yolk in the belly, and this can take a long time to get used up, so you may find that there's a delay before they kick in and start feeding properly. If you have particularly small babies, these may well be more reticent, and you then might need to use frog or lizard scent. But these are predominantly mammal feeders in the wild, so they don't really offer us a huge amount of issues. Basking temperature wants to be between 32 and 33 degrees Celsius, with a cool end down to 25 or 26. Lichanura trivirgata gracia may require slightly higher temperatures, being from the Mojave Desert region. You could have them basking upwards of 35-36 Celsius with no problems. Shedding is not usually an issue, but if you find that you have a particularly dry home and skins stick, then you can use a moss box, but for the most part they'll shed without issue. If you want to breed them successfully, brumation may well be needed. Even though they have the extremely hot weather during the summer, there is a very pronounced winter, and certainly the desert species will have almost freezing temperatures at night to deal with in winter. So this is definitely worth bearing in mind. So this will help us make sure that we've got good fertility from our young. Generally, the rosy boas are found near granite rock formations, and they will use the rocks to hide from the extremes of the weather, but also from predation. They're a very secretive, slow-moving boa. They rely on surprise to feed. They are very just slow, pensive when it comes to their movements, which is what makes them such fabulous snakes. When we did our top 10 snakes recently, the Rosy boa group came in second place with an overall score of 93% over 5 variables, including temperament, territoriality, adult size, willingness to feed, and appetite. And you know, they pretty much sweep the boards. There was only the corn snakes that came in 1% more successful than these. These really are truly wonderful snakes. They've got beautiful faces and they're well worth considering as a first pet. And I realise it's a boa constrictor, but don't be fooled. The boa constrictor family is huge and it contains different genus, and Lichanura is one of the most manageable and best pet species of snake going. Definitely give them some research. Most of the literature you will find will list them as Lichanura, so that's Lichanura. The trivigata is in reference to 3 tri, and the vigata is stripes. So there is a dorsal stripe and 2 flank stripes intersected by grey or tan. Different localities have different intensities and colour patterns. This is what we call a baha, so this has got the grey interstripe sections, and this is Lichanura trivigata sasloi, and this is from, even though it's called the mid Baja, Rosy is actually from northern Baja, California, Mexico, but currently I don't actually think it's recognised. But how much you buy into that? For 30 years people have been producing sasloi, which are the mid Bajas. They don't just stop existing. Yeah, they might be a locality of the desert Rosy, but you know, as far as we're concerned in the hobby, sasloi still exist. They're still bred and they're still advertised. So this is a mid Baja Rosy boa. We'll be back again soon with another guide. I hope this was useful, and we'll see you again soon. From Paul and Chaz at Snakes and Adders, peace.